Marry the woman you want your daughter to be and become the man you want your daughter to bring home.
Hey guys, it's Josh, and welcome back to the Not So Bad Bachelor Pad, your favorite podcast for learning how to balance between being a raging dumpster fire and a functional adult. And let's be honest, some days we're all a bit of a dumpster fire. Before we get into today's episode, I have a question. What's worse, a bad night out or bad credit? One can waste your time, the other can derail your whole future. And today's guest will help determine if you're taking more dumpster fire or functional adult vibes. Alex Edwards is joining us inside the Bachelor Pad. Alex, thank you so much for making time for us today. How are you?
I'm great. How about yourself?
I'm excited, like we were talking about. You might have a couple hot takes that I don't know if the audience is ready for, but we're going to get into.
Okay.
Now, you have portfolio. You are a real estate entrepreneur. You've written a book. Like you are pretty much a self-made man for what I would define. So, how did you get to be where you are today? Because everybody knows it didn't happen overnight.
Definitely. So I just want to correct a few things. My name is Alex E. Edwards, and I'm not self-made. I'm God-made.
Oh, listen,
And even with going through my journey, you're now a part of my journey. So you're helping me make my future right now as we stand, right? So I never say self-made. That's just not me because I need you. I need people like you. I need your listeners. And I'm so grateful that you even want to speak to me. So I'll never say self-made. And I know all of this success could be taken away just like that. So I just want to correct that. So how did I get here? In 10th grade, I took the first time real estate class. And when I turned 20, I bought my first multifamily home. And when I turned 23, I quit my 9 to 5 and jumped into real estate and never looked back. And that's how I got here.
I have to say, I was not prepared for that.
Yeah.
I always talk about developing, being 1% better, but you did that almost literally from the jump. 10th grade. How many sophomores were like, "You know what? Let's take a real estate class." Voluntarily, that would have been like kicking and screaming for so many people, but you locked in. Whether you thought that would be your whole life, you at least had a vision for yourself. So I gotta pay huge respect to that because a lot of people, myself included, it probably took me another 8 to 10 years before I could started saying, "Let's talk business."
Yeah. And the funny thing is, to be honest, around 10 years ago, my mom showed me a picture when I was in, I think, third or fourth grade. You would not believe what it says on the picture. It says, "I wanna sell homes."
No way.
I swear. I swear it's in my book. It says, I wanna sell homes."
Some people come from medical families where everybody's a doctor or a nurse. Some people go into law enforcement for that same thing. Did you come from a family of realtors?
No, not at all. Not at all. It was funny because my mom was never home trying to keep her home, right? So, she didn't have time or and money. She didn't have either one. Usually, you have time or money. She didn't have either one. I didn't know we was I didn't even know we was raised broke. Because we was so rich when it comes to morals. So no one was real estate agents. I don't know where I got it from. Honestly, I don't know, but God has a journey for me, obviously. So I accept it. I'm just meeting God halfway.
Listen, he puts you on the path and you were courageous enough to take that first step and trust in his plan. So as you can see, you've been rewarded. A talent is bearing fruit. So just kudos to you because that's also a thing. Not many people, I mean, everybody listening, watching right now, I want you to drop a comment. What was the first job you ever wanted to do or thought you would do? And what are you doing now? Because please do not judge me for what I'm about to say. My mom won't let me forget this. The first job I ever thought I would have, I was like, I'm gonna be a police dog. Like I had like a great nose. I was like, I could probably sniff bombs out. Now, 6-year-old Josh thought that was very credible. Now in my 30s, that is completely far fetched, and I'm on the opposite side of the spectrum. But you had the vision, even though you may not have understood it, and throughout time, you just honed it in, made it more feasible, took the steps to achieve it, and lived it.
Yeah, thank you.
I mentioned earlier that you had a hot take
Yeah.
that a lot of people, especially, I don't even think it's an age thing or maybe even a gender thing. I just think a lot of people genuinely probably haven't thought about it. And you probably know exactly the question, the hot take I'm thinking of.
Yeah. Mortgage before marriage?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean,
Mortgage before
well,
marriage.
look, let's be honest. because we in the bachelor pad, right? So let me just try to remember when I was a bachelor,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna talk to you like that. All right.
Okay.
Right,
Right.
I'm gonna take the ring off. I'm gonna take the ring. I'm gonna get in the mode. Y'all ready for this? All
Mm.
right.
Listen.
Love is overrated. Love is overrated unless you love yourself first,
Mm,
right? So we run into love. We chasing Mr. Right, Mrs. Right, and we're not getting our finances right. And it's crazy. Honestly, we'll have sex. We have unprotected sex before we even talk about finances. That is crazy. You're more uncomfortable to talk about finances than to give someone your body. Like that should be a mic drop, the podcast end because that's a fact that something is wrong with us where we will rather catch a disease than talk about our finances, right?
that's true.
And that is just crazy. But if you just think about why do we feel this way? Right? Finance is such an uncomfortable topic. One, two, finance is the second most reason why people get divorced, right?
Yeah.
So all of this is surrounding financing. So what I'm saying is, wait a minute. I might want to get my finances right before I chase Mrs. Right. I want to make sure that I'm secure and I'm bringing something to the table. I want to make sure that I'm taking everything that the government got, all the loan products, all the down payment assistance, closing cost assistance. It goes by my income. So if I get married, that means our income joined. We might not even qualify. I'll leave $100,000 on the table because I fell in love. Get the out of here. I'm not doing it. It makes no sense. And then we're going to argue about money and then we're going to get the divorce. Are you stupid? Come on. So I just can't do it, big dog. Like it makes no sense. And honestly, I wish it's just, it's common sense. At this point, like let's not even talk about stats or my success or my experience. It's common sense. If you're gonna argue about something on Tuesday, let's fix it on Monday.
Listen, I know we just said that ever since third, fourth grade, you wanted to sell homes, but are you sure you didn't want to be a chef? Because you kind of just cook with that. Like no bull, real talk. There were a lot of gems there. So in case y'all missed it, rewind it the last minute and a half because he was talking. Listen, my dumpster fire's out there. You don't even got to say nothing. I know it. Just ask yourself, how many of y'all have definitely hit it without wrapping it, but didn't at least ask, what is the pocket looking like first? Because that's a real thing. And finances are a big, huge issue in relationships, marriages, especially when you're looking to build a family, like in the epicenter of your whole life. But it's the thing we're also most embarrassed or insecure to talk about. I think that might have to be my new switch up, you know?
It's simple, it's simple. Mortgage before marriage, finances before fiance, Rockefeller before Beyonce. That's simple, bro. It is simple.
Now, when did that break down for you? Because obviously it was hard enough for you to title a book your book that. So you probably have fallen in love a time or two. So what made you realize this love thing, it's great. It's kind of for the birds because we gotta shift gears.
And I'm going to talk to the women right now. I'm going to
Okay.
talk to the women. So women, no, I didn't treat you well when I was immature, when I was a little boy, and I'm sorry. And I'm going to always apologize for the way I was raised. How I was raised, people was like, "Yo, don't trust no girl. Make sure you have 3 or 4 of them. Make sure you have," and that was the wrong thing to do. And because of that, I broke a lot of hearts. And so I had to unlearn, right? I had to unlearn and then I had to start loving me. I had to fall in love with me. I had to work on my inner Alex, right? And a lot of men, we don't take time to work on ourselves. We don't take time to deal with our trauma. We don't. I had daddy issues, and that's why I wanted all these females to love me. I'm like, I'm not getting that love from my dad. I want you to love one. So I didn't care how many hearts I broke because I was so damaged and hurt people. Hurt people. So I'm like, everyone gonna get hurt. As long as you love me, we good. And guess what? I want this person to love me, that person to love me. Well, I realized that wasn't the right way. Took the time out, worked on me, and then when I was ready to be in a relationship, I said, all right, I'm going to do this the right way. And, I met my wife on Match.com and I just wrote, I'm looking for a best friend. Right. And we started dating, and stuff got serious. First thing we did, we opened our checking account. So we will deposit $50 a week in this checking account, me and her. So it's $100 a week. And they was like, oh, this is pretty cool. We go on vacation, we go out to eat. Let's do $100. So we did $100. So we did 150. So 200, so 250 a week. And we just kept doing it. And it was getting serious. We both made a decision before I do, she has to buy a house. I already got a multifamily. You got to buy a multifamily. And my wife said, I bet. She bought a multifamily. I now have a multifamily. And then we got married. Now, when we got married, something happened that blew our mind. Our tenants paid for our wedding, but they weren't invited. Y'all waiting for the checks. Y'all spending your down payment on the wedding. You hoping that you get gifts, all that. I'm good. I didn't spend my down payment on my wedding. My down payment helped me pay for my wedding. I didn't spend it on my wedding. And then also, we still got checks after the wedding because we had homes, right? So we're not arguing about money. We making love. Like it's a different mindset. You wanna make love and worry, or you wanna make love with no worry. I like making love with no worries. Like honestly, I look in the mirror and I know I'm different and I'm happy. And of course, I still got growth. I'm gonna always grow and I'll always
Mhm.
educate myself. But if I'm thinking about the way we're growing up and the way that we are so scared to talk about money and it's going to lead to our downfall, I'd rather deal with the issue right away.
No, that's for certain. Like, I don't believe in beating around the bush. Why wait to have a conversation next week that we can just have right now? Because you see it on the horizon, so why not just address it? But we talked about this time in, time out. Guys, we're halfway through season 4, year 6. You don't want a significant other. You want a partner, somebody who is going to boss up with you and walk in stride. I go, you go, you go, I go type of situations. And this man right here just literally gave you an example of that. He set a goal, not as a test for her, but just wanting the best and also wanting to stay evenly yoked with somebody he's going to spend the rest of his life with. So I love it. When did you get married?
I got married at 30.
Okay. So you were kind of doing it for 10 years. You had the experience. You probably coached her up on some of the tips and tricks, didn't and just let her wander around.
Yep.
But that's beautiful because that's literally how you also build an empire. It's just not you. It's her, then, maybe one of your friends, or if you have more family. At least that's how it was for me and my brothers. We all kind of said that same thing. It's like my oldest brother was like, hey, I got two. How many doors you got? Zero, zero, zero. Listen, by the time you're 30, by the time you're 40, here's how many doors we need to have. And then just like build it. And so that's kind of what we've been doing a lot this year, especially. This is super important to really just like hone in on what do you want for yourself? Cause you're right. Like, why worry? There are so many things in life that we can worry about. Let's not add money to
We don't have to. We just don't have to. We put ourselves in some predicaments that we just don't have to be in. Women, especially women, 20% of women are in bad relationships they can't afford to leave.
no, that's real.
And let that sink in. It's 20% of women are in bad relationships. And I believe it's probably higher. That stat was when I wrote the book. So it's 20% of women cannot leave a relationship because they don't have enough funds to leave. Society told women, go to school, get a career, and look for Mr. Right, or wait for Mr. Right. Society never told them boss up, never told them create your own business, never told them, hey, make sure you get your money up. Go look for Mr. Right. So our beautiful queens go look for Mr. Right. They get married. Mr. Right's like, I'll take care of you. Pregnant, couple of kids. Boom. I don't even want you anymore. We all that book just came out, Strangers. Well, not just came out, but everyone's talking about it. You saw what her husband did to her, right? Why would we put us? I would never want to put my daughter in that predicament. Never want her to be in that predicament. I mean, my wife and I, what we did, we bought our children multi-families.
Mm,
If y'all look up the youngest landlord on YouTube is my son. So
that is
this
wild.
is this is something we're doing because I want to make sure that my children have choices. They choose to work. They have a chance to figure out their strength and what they want to do in life, right? Not be in any relationship they can't afford to leave because they don't have the finances. And very important. That's very important. And that's what the book's all about. Mortgage Before Marriage, it helps single women become financially secure before marriage, and it helped married women improve their finances so they can stay married, right? And of course, a lot of men read it too. But when I was writing it, I was thinking about my mom, I was thinking about my wife, And I was thinking about my daughter. And I said, with this book, if something happened to me and my wife decides to remarry, she's not remarried because of money. She's remarrying because she loves someone. You know, my daughter's not getting it married or staying in a bad marriage because of money. Like, that's never going to happen. I already changed the trajectory. It's never going to happen.
For sure. Now, I definitely wanna tap into that. This is a thing that maybe the last 2 years has been swirling around my brain is which is why I'm also surprised more people aren't talking about this. You're right, a lot of people can't afford I didn't know the statistic was 20%. I could feel like it was higher, but I also don't think it's new. 'Cause we talked about this previously. It could be different from your family, but my grandparents, both sides, married decades, half a century. Their parents, since they were 16, 17, to the time they died. But I went back and look at it. I'm not saying they didn't love each other, but I noticed, I was like, well, you didn't work, you didn't drive. Not all of y'all finished school, had multiple kids. Really, what were you gonna do if it wouldn't have worked out? Maybe this explains some of the behavior that we see and why people have trouble with emotional intelligence and healthy relationships because they see the positive of those relationships lasting forever, but what were they built on? Not financial equality.
Man, that's the hard truth. Emotional intelligence is very important. It's very important. You have to understand logic, and emotions. You have to understand. You have to make a decision if you want to be happy or right in a lot of situations, not only marriage, even with your friends. So, emotional intelligence is very important. Very important.
I mean, it's literally the first step. If you don't have it, don't hope to maintain any type of relationship. You're just going to be in perpetual spring fling
You're right, and I believe a lot of us men, us bachelors, since I'm a bachelor for a couple of minutes,
for a couple of minutes. Yeah.
we don't have emotional intelligence. I honestly don't think a man should yell, argue with anyone. Like when I see a woman and a man arguing, I just see two women. I can't picture myself yelling at my wife, like
Hmm.
screaming and disrespecting her. I just can't see it. And guess what? She don't scream and disrespect me like at all
Right.
because I'm a man. You know, like
That's true.
what's going where are we going with me shouting? Like, you know how
Circles.
many
That's where you're
in
going. You're going in
prison
circles.
yeah, you know how many people in prison wish they didn't have that argument?
Wow.
Like, think about that. That 1 minute, life change. You know how many people in prison like, "Damn, I wish I had that emotional intelligence to stay in control." For all the men out there, look, stay in control. The more control you are, the more of a king you are. And the more of a king you are, the more you get whatever you want in life
Hmm.
because you have control of self. If you out of control, what can you actually achieve? Because you're out of control and you're gonna start accepting anything, right? So always stay in control.
Listen, that's true. I know for me, I haven't had kids, but it's not till my siblings started having kids or my homies started having kids that Uncle Josh came about. And because I was real slick with the mouth, I was always ready to pop off, no matter who or what it was. But then I'll never forget, I was watching my niece, I took her to the park, and, like, some boy was just all up in her face, just big and barking, and it, like, hit me, I was like, "Yo," it just didn't feel right to my soul to have this boy yell at her, and then I was like, "Yo, Josh, this is literally kinda what you were doing. You're always barking, and for what? You're right," and I was like, "If everything around you is chaos, you just keep spreading it. Chaos cannot be contained, so you gotta find some other way." Now, shifting back into, our main topic, my bachelorettes, I never forget about you, but the last couple weeks, we kinda been going hard on the fellas, so I gotta get you a little zing too. What is one of the biggest red flags that you notice that some women, the ladies will kinda look over because of attraction?
I mean, okay, that's a good question. Since we're talking about finances, since we already talked about finance, I'm gonna go with
Okay,
mindset all day.
let's, uh,
Mindset.
let's go further with that.
All right, check this. Women, this is what I want you to do. I want you to go over to mortgagebeforemarriage.com and I want you to take an audit. That's number one. I want you to take an audit to see if you're protected or not in your relationship. And if you're not in a relationship, I want you to definitely go get kind of like a workbook so you could vet your next boyfriend or your next date. All right, so let's do this. You're on a date. We don't care about the color. Like, I don't care what your favorite color, how many siblings you have. I wanna date this. You're already attracted to him, right? That's why y'all on a date. Looks good. All right. But now, since you like him, you attracted him. Now we have to date the mind. We have to see what's going on here. So you have to start asking certain questions like, so when you down, what motivates you? Okay, okay, like that. All right. So name 3 goals you have that you're going to achieve this year. Okay. Do you write your goals down? How do you keep track? Okay. You have a coach? You have a trainer? Well, that's nice. Okay. So you like writing down your goals and achieving it, huh? How does that make you feel? I bet it make you feel great. You have a lot of discipline, I could tell. Okay. Okay. And you see that that's what I'm dating them. I'm trying to understand like what is going on here. Because I don't care about nothing else. I gotta understand what's going on here, but I'm not drilling the
Right.
guy. I'm not. I'm just having this. I'm celebrating him as well, right? You should be
Mhm.
celebrating him as well, but you asking questions, right? My credit score is 800. I'm going to leverage my credit score to get this line of credit so I could buy this. Where's your credit score at and what are you leveraging it to do? Okay. Okay. That's what okay, I like that. Okay, bet. So let me ask you a question. Would you rather have $50,000 and a 550 credit score or $25,000 and a 730 credit score? See that question right there gonna f them up. Yo, how they reply, I already know what's happening, right? So this is how women should start talking.
Mhm.
Again, it's not drilling, you're not nagging. It's actually fun, right? It's fun if you talk to the right person. If you talk to the
Right.
wrong person, guess what? You're not dating the wrong person, right? A lot of times you date the wrong person for too long.
To figure it
So
out. Yeah.
yeah, so let's figure this out while we're dating. Another thing, women, stop putting titles on men so fast. Stop thinking that because you went on 1 or 2 dates, y'all exclusive. No, you need to take applications. Your boss didn't give you a raise on the first day. So, like, what are we doing? You like, oh man, this is my thing. No, it's not your boo. No, y'all just cool. Y'all dating. Y'all trying to figure out what's going on. Yes, he's attractive, but what's in his mind? His attraction is not going to treat you good. His
Mhm,
mind is
mhm.
gonna treat you good or bad. And you need to really understand that because we don't understand that.
Listen, I'm still stinging because you hit me with a you hit me with a good one. That was a nice little stinger right there. The financial literacy talk is something that you don't ever see, but you're right, you did it in the way where nobody likes an interrogation, but people do like to talk about themselves and be celebrated, which this conversation did. You made the valid point of you don't have to rush things, but you do have to make sure you're making the right decision. And the right decision is the one that keeps making money. As much as it is a red flag to ignore somebody's financial literacy, it's just as big of a red flag, in my opinion, not to have it. You know, capital is cool, but you can misuse it, that can go away real quick. So you really need to know how to leverage, how to make a play, how to build, and that translates to a lot of other parts of your life, not just your wallet. You know, because if I know you know how to nurture, handle money, you know how to build your credit, you know how to do this, that, and the third. That shows me in our relationship when there comes a time of adversity, you're gonna know what to do. You know how to make the play, and it's not going to lead to another fight. It's not going to lead us one step closer to breaking. It's not going to put us into debt or detriment. So, no, no, you was talking nice right there. I respect that. I know there's no cheat codes in this game, but are there some things to look out for to help these bachelorettes listening right now and to serve as a warning for the bachelors who are, just chopping it up with us about some bad habits early on that we need to clock and kind of stay away from.
I don't like to reflect on the stuff I do and say, if you don't do it, you're a bad guy.
Right.
Right? Like little things I do, I just make sure that like the door's getting open. The woman's always walking in the inner side of the sidewalk, not on the street side. It's I'm gonna make the decision of where we're going. I'm not gonna say, "Where you wanna go?" I'm gonna make the decision, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying I am controlling, but I'm saying if I'm asking you out, I'm gonna have it all planned and taken care of. I don't want you to worry, right? This is things you could just look out for, and also, of course, let's look out for, "Oh, you wanna come to my crib?" Like, "You wanna come to my crib?" Like, "What?" Let's look out for that. Let's
We're not dumb. We know what that means. Yeah.
yeah, like, crib, like Yeah, I live with my mom real quick, just real quick. It just that type of stuff. You just kind of want to look out. At a certain age, it's like, all right, you still don't got it together. We, and I think about this all the time, and I'm probably a little bit more paranoid. God forbid if my wife wake up one day and say I don't love him, I gotta leave. I'm not going back to my mom house. We have 9 homes I could choose from, right? And I'm not talking about money is everything where that what makes a man. I'm not saying that. I'm saying a strong, wealthy mindset makes a man. And based on that mindset, that man wants to make sure he is taken care of before he try to love or take care of someone else. Just look out for the F boys. There's a lot of F boys out there, and you got to look out for them. And it's harder to find love because of social media. And who wouldn't want more than one person? Right, at this point, even, you see a lot of females at this point, it's like, "You know what? F it. If y'all gonna do it, I'm gonna do it." Yeah, like I said, go on mortgagebeforemarriage.com, audit yourself, get that vetting worksheet, and make sure you can find love. And that sheet will help you find the right person. It will guide you to finding the right person, so you don't have to date the wrong person for a long time and feel safe and secure, and it doesn't work out.
Listen, I was like, we're over investing and they're not good investments. Speaking of investments, I'm a big believer in this. I want to know your opinion. We spend a lot of time saying like, "Hey, be cautious of who you're titling, who you're pouring into." But how do you feel about it's a good dude, maybe a little financially behind. Do you stay and help him build? You'd be like, "Hey, you're not really ticking boxes."
I think it depends. I would never tell anyone what to do, but it all depends on.
You're a bachelor right now, but you're still a dad. So I was like,
I had a girlfriend where she was on a whole different level, and I realized that, damn, she was on a whole different level. She could have just been like, "Yo, kick rocks, Alex. I'm out." Right? And honestly, because of her, I got my first real job, and it was in banking. And so imagine if she was like, "Nah, kick rocks." I'm not saying I wouldn't find myself. It would probably just take a little longer, but she didn't say kick rocks. She actually showed me a life I would never seen. She went to college. I didn't. I was on her campus. I seen the college life. Now learning how money work, mortgages work. She gave me a shot, but I had the potential. That's how I'm gonna answer it. That's how I'm gonna answer it. I had the potential. She gave me a shot, and how she was raised, it was much different than how I was raised, and because of that, her experience was an investment to me.
and her camp is, I don't mind staying with somebody to build. Now,
Mhm.
as we talked about earlier in this conversation, what does that look like in a year? Like, what's your goal? If you just say, I'm building, we don't want it to be that property that's been sitting desolate for 10 years, be like, coming soon, coming soon. Soon needs to be definitive. I was like, I'm not saying, hey, you need to be a mogul by the end of the year, but I need to see progress. I need to see
But you
steps.
don't have to be serious with that person, right? That's putting time. Won't you just date them and see if that person is serious?
Mhm.
You see the signals. If they
Right.
keep their word, the person that lied to itself, run. This person gonna lie to themselves, just run right away. If they say, "Oh, I'm gonna stop doing this," and they doing it the next week, run right away, right? So, I mean, it's the signs are there. And another thing I want to talk about, especially to the women, you got to get prenups. Women, you got to get prenups. Look, you're the come up. Single women are buying way more homes than single men. Y'all are the come up. Y'all making way more money than men. The majority of men is not even leaving their mama house anymore, right? They're not. They staying home playing games. Women are out there killing it, right? You got to sign that prenup. Got to sign that prenup. And I know that prenup is an uncomfortable conversation, but it's a conversation that needs to be had. And how you word a prenup is a financial love letter to your future self, right? And it's just protection. This is crazy to me. When you bought your car, right? You got insurance before you left the lot. When you bought your home, you got insurance before you signed the deed. When you get married, no insurance. That's stupid. That doesn't makes no sense. Again, it's the human saying, "Hey, I am going to have unprotected sex before I talk about finances." We make dumb decisions, right? And then we hurt ourselves, and it makes no sense. So that prenup has to be signed. Prenup has to be signed. Kelly Clarkson is allegedly paying over $130,000 a month because of no prenup. No prenup. A future asset clause for
Can't imagine.
playing Mary J. Blige, ex-husband. She fell in love. He fell in love. He cheated, made more money. He cheated. Made less money. No prenup. Like we have women, you gotta get the prenup. And I want to say this: those who sign the prenup, they stay married much longer than those that don't sign a prenup, right? Because it's clarity. It's saying, hey, this is what's happening. This is how we're gonna deal with the money. This is how we're gonna deal with this. This is how we're gonna deal with that. Everything is laid out. It's like a business plan. So women sign the prenup. If he says no, then you already know what time it is. Look what Todd did. My man tried to get a lot. But you know what? When you sign a prenup, you have to sign a prenup 90 days before, right? 90 days before the wedding. Or the other person could say is just I was under distress.
Okay.
I was under distress, right? So I would take if you're gonna get married, sign it 100 days before, sign it 200 days. If you know I do, all right. Yeah, I wouldn't want to marry you. Okay, bet. Let's start working on that prenup. It's a no-brainer. And again, I just gotta throw that out. Mortgagebeforemarriage.com. You could get yourself a prenup template. You could get yourself it's 10 things that must be in your prenup. You could pick all 10, the ones you don't want, throw it out, whatever. And then it also has scripts on how you should speak to your man when introducing the idea of prenup. Then it also has an email that you're gonna shoot to your attorney to explain how you want your prenup formatted. This whole mortgage before marriage movement is a protection. Is a protection. Is protecting love. I don't want you not to be in love. I don't want you to get a divorce. But guess what? Just in case, you are protected and you don't have to lose everything. And I know a lot of people say, you know what? But I don't have nothing to lose. The thing about prenups, it also protects your future success. Also protect your future success. Yeah, you didn't have a house when you got married, but now you got 8 homes. Well, yeah, that's the marriage. That's marriage. The marriage got 8 homes. So when you say, "Oh, I don't got nothing," we always got something, and we're going to get more. So you got to protect yourself. If you want to buy the whole system, it's called Money Power Prenup. Go get it.
Listen, I just thought we were here to wake people up today. I didn't know we were also setting them up because you are giving them, you are feeding them success. Hopefully y'all are aware of this in case you didn't know. You just thought this was just about building something. Nah, he's he's talking, he's giving you steps, blueprints, maps, the key to longevity. Cuz that's what this whole thing is about. It's fun. You guys hang out with me for 45 minutes every week. Cool. What I want, what Alex wants, what everybody else wants is these 45 minutes, you to lock in, learn something so that you can build consistently, so that you aren't dependent. Because being dependent on anybody other than you, man, that's not gambling with the house's money. That's gambling with your money, with your livelihood. So definitely make sure you're checking out this link in the description, maybe floating around on one of these cards around the screen. But like definitely check that out. Now, we spent a lot of time talking about business and, business, finance, building. That's just one part of a relationship. We do got to worry about the personality too, because you don't want to just be linked to a product. It got to be a product that you at least enjoy. So this is my favorite part of the show. It's called our quickie questions. I don't want you to think too hard. Listen, you're a bachelor. You see it, you want it. Let's just go for it.
All right,
All
let's
right.
go.
So you kind of already answered this, but it's formality. Name of the show, Not So Bad Bachelor Pad. You can go ahead, pick that thing back up because I ain't trying to get in trouble with the missus. Put it back on. What is your current relationship status?
I'm married.
That's right.
Married and in love.
Listen, he said, and in love. Listen,
Married.
that's huge because a lot of people are married. They might not love each other like they did 5, 10, 15
A
years
lot of
ago.
people are married and roommates.
Lit. The roommate epidemic is huge.
Yeah, that interest rate looked good from 2020 when it was locked up. They're like, nah, we hate each other, but shit, that we ain't giving up that interest rate.
It's so funny. I went to a convention the other day and one of my boys, he got married real young. They were together for maybe 8 or 10 years, and then they just recently broke up, and this is the first time we saw each other. And he was like, I knew it was a fixer-upper, but I didn't realize how much I would have to put into it. I was, gung-ho to get married, to, like, get locked up, put it on there, but that really made me, like, hold up and reevaluate because that's something we don't talk about a lot is it's okay to do the work, but not every project is salvageable. You were lucky enough to find your person. Your mentality, your mindset probably played a solid role into that. But I got to ask you, on a scale of 1 to 10, how confident were you in your flirting ability to land her? Or did she land you?
She landed me.
Listen, he's like, I ain't gonna hold you.
And she winked at me, wink, wink, you know what I'm saying? She hit me with the winky wink.
Hands down, there are a
Hit
lot
me
of
with the
things that will
wink.
make me fold, but eye contact, you give me that eye contact?
Hit me with that wink. Nah, we was on Match.com. She hit that wink on Match.com, bro.
No. See, so not even it was the virtual, not even in person.
My flirting game's trash. I would say trash. I'll say trash, bro. Trash.
People can
Trash.
say a lot of things about him, but candor, not being honest, not one of them because he's been honest all day. It takes a real one to be like, "Hey,
Yeah, my flirting game trash, man. Honestly, like, yo, my flirting game's trash. I don't even know. Yeah, I mean, of course I don't flirt now, but yeah, I never knew. I just never had it in me, you know.
you don't
And then,
flirt with your wife? Hold up, hold on."
oh
I was about
no,
to
I'm
move to
talking
the
about
next
no.
question, but
I thought we were talking about before.
still, you said I don't flirt now. I was like, listen,
I thought my fault. I apologize. We was on a
before I
Bachelor.
was we listen.
That's what I'm thinking. With my wife, I flirt all day.
Okay,
That's
that's what
all day, every
because I was
day.
like, you
Like,
said
I
married
don't
and in
stop.
love, but you ain't flirting. Nah, that ain't adding up.
Nah,
Okay,
I'm
okay.
trying to, I'm always trying to, catch a wave. Make her wavy. You dig?
Yeah, getting a bag and securing it are two different things.
Yeah,
Listen,
nah,
you
we
get it in
good.
a moment, but you secure it for the rest of your life.
We good. We good. We have
Yeah.
a good time together. So in my book, we have a certain things we do. We do this 24 dating thing, 24-hour date. And so no phones, no computers, and we have to stay in the same room for 24 hours. Of course, you could go to the bathroom, but the conversation is amazing, the flirting is amazing, the dancing is amazing, the lovemaking is amazing, and getting to know her even more after 10 years is amazing. So that's one of my favorite activities in the book.
Listen, I know I'm about to get some hate for this, not from you because you're married and in love, and I love that for you. But I'm talking scoot over a little bit. I'm talking to all those bachelors and the bachelorettes over there in the back. How many of y'all can sit down and have a 24-hour date with your significant other, no matter what your relationship that is right now?
Love it. It's
Because
the best thing ever.
I need a like smash that like button if you could do a 24-hour date right now with
Thing
your
ever.
person.
Best thing ever. Best thing ever.
I love that. I know I have some hot takes. Your hot take kind of started the episode, shook things up, but I don't think that was problematic. But do you have a hot take that may be a little troublesome that you're like, nah, I'm standing 10 toes down on? Like for me, I say what I say. I'm all about emotional healing, being 1% better, but I need my partner to be a little bit toxic, just a little bit. That's me. So do you have one of those?
I don't know. I have something that my wife asked me not to talk about, but since you asked, I don't believe in last name hyphenation. I just feel like you're halfway married. I just feel like you're halfway. I just feel like one foot in, one foot out. I
Hold
just
on,
feel like it's not real to
hold
me.
on.
Oh, okay. A lot of women will like right now probably get bashed. They was probably rooting for me, like, yeah, I'm buying that book. Now they're like, nope, I ain't buying that book. I just think, look, this is real talk. I love when we're introduced as the Edwards. I
Right.
just feel like we're together. We're just one. And I love that my wife wears my last name, right? And I did so much for my wife as well. So it's not a one-sided thing. I show up for my wife on a whole different level. Like I support her, I motivate her, I inspire her. I see so much good in her. And she is the fucking bomb, bro. And I always need to remind her that who the hell she is, because she that mom, like she that queen. Like she a queen, right? And so for not to rock my name and we move as a pack with our kids all the same name, I don't know, man. I like, hey, here comes the Edwards. I like to hear her name. I
Listen,
like that. We moving as one clique, one team. When we go to schools, hey, y'all all the Edwards, right? Yeah, there's Edwards. No, my name is not. No, my name is such and such Edwards. No, we are all locked in. We are a pack. We are here to stay.
listen, I love the idea of it. It's a little tough. I'm one of 4. None of us same name. Same bloodline, not the same name. But like that's the thing. That's traditional. That's idealistic. That's beautiful. Like I would definitely want that. Like I get that. Like keeping up with the Joneses, Jones with the Joneses. That's phenomenal. I want that. I need that. I'm gonna have that. But also like if you're not, it's different. But I was like, I love that for you, and I understand what you're saying. That's what I'm saying. I don't think that's a hot take. I just think it's do you take? I think it's a hot take if you wanna hyphenate, like you said, 1 foot in, 1 foot out.
Yeah. I think I lost. I'm trash on the hot take.
Listen,
I'm like, you
and
got
that's
it.
good. Listen, he's unproblematic,
I
he
love
has a good mindset, like, no wonder he is not on the
it.
market right now.
I really believe in happiness. I really believe in when they were like love hurts and marriage is hard. I'm like, no, is it marriage hard? Because if you have emotional intelligence, what is truly hard? It's a good conversation. I lead my conversations, right? So if I see, my one wife getting aggravated, I'm not gonna get aggravated with her. Like it doesn't help the relationship. It doesn't help the conversation. I'll say, all right, let's talk without aggravation. And I listen. Just calm down, listen. And sometimes we do this exercise where we will hold hands and she tell me what's wrong. I have to repeat it to make sure I heard her.
Mhm,
And then I talk about how can we just move forward. That's just me. And I know some people say, nah, man, it's funny because if you go on my Instagram, I'm wearing a pink suit. And I said, I don't argue with my wife. The men in that message is tearing me apart. Yo, you weak. Cause I don't believe I should be yelling at a woman. And I'm weak for that. And some say, yo, nah, you need to, choke her up sometimes. It makes the love better. I really don't believe that. You know what makes the love better? When we got our first Airbnb probably 6 years ago, 5, 6 years ago, and we put that Airbnb together. I mean, late nights.
mhm.
You know how exciting we were? You know how exciting it is to build with someone and to see it happen, come together, and be so locked in? Being there at 2 o'clock in the morning, just me and my wife, that brought excitement to the marriage. That brought excitement, not me choking her, not me yelling at her
Yeah.
just to make up. I don't need to do that. That's the thing we have to start unlearning. That's BS. Now you're saying you want a man to go choke your daughter? Come on, like come on, guys.
Hey,
Let's be serious. You want
simple
a man to
concept
choke your
that's thrown
daughter?
over the head, yeah, it's
You
wild.
want a man to go choke your daughter so the love could be better? Get out of here. And then you're gonna be in court talking about, yo, I killed him. He choked my. You just you just told me to choke my wife.
That
That's
part,
someone's daughter.
that part.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm sorry. That's just not sorry. I'm not sorry for it, but that's who I am. That's what God made, and I promise myself that I'm going to go see what God has in store for me, and that's why I go so hard with everything I do with this book, with the real estate company, with the development company, with the TEDx stuff. Like I go hard because I truly want to go see what God has in store for me.
This is a really big thing for me because y'all know me. I may have a little bit of bravado, but deep down, I'm a golden retriever. I love love, like to my core. And for me, that's not saying I love sex. I'm lustful. I just love love. So I got a quick challenge, a game within a game. I need you to name 3 things that you love and that attracts you to your wife that are non-sexual, non-physical. I need 3 of them.
Okay, her intelligence,
Mhm.
her strength. And this is easy. Her intelligence, her strength, excited, right? She'd be like, yo, I'll body that.
That passion, that vigor, you know, like
And she's a real good speaker. Like if I would go and pay for a ticket, front row VIP to hear my wife speak.
listen, he gave y'all a bonus, he gave you 4.
Yeah.
Imma allow it this time, Imma allow it. No, I love that, and not a lot of people can do that with their partner. They're like, "Oh, I love her body," or like, "The way she trains." I was like, No, 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 no." I was like, "About her. Say anything happens and that physicality goes. What do you like? What's your reason to stay? What do you love? What'll still excite you about them?" That's important. Now, I'm not gonna ask you to be a bachelor again like I did early, but Imma ask you to be a girl dad, okay? So just put that hat on. Would you I don't wanna say allow because we don't control our kids. Would you support your daughter staying in a relationship with a guy who seems nice, nothing really wrong with him, but just really has no financial intuition, just is not really worried about building his portfolio? I don't mean that necessarily residential, but just,
No,
like
no,
building his own.
no, I won't support it.
Listen, and I love that because one of the big things for me that I feel like is a problem in the dating scape right now is people aren't good people. So sometimes when you find a person who is just a decent human being, you'll give them too much or you'll settle because they're a good person. But that's just not enough. That should be the starting line that you're just a decent person. Vibes can only carry you so far. Like you said, I need stability. I need assurances.
I It's something I say all the time. Marry the woman you want your daughter to be and become the man you want your daughter to bring home. I stand by that.
I might have to borrow that. I'm gonna give credit though, but I'm
Amen.
gonna borrow that. Last question I have for you. Okay. Where can we connect? Where can we tap in? Where
You definitely could check me on Mortgage Before Marriage on Instagram. You could check me on Alex E. Edwards on every social media platform.
guys, girls, men, women, everybody who was listening, partnered people. I didn't know that I had signed y'all up for a master class in financial literacy, in emotional intelligence, in non complacency, but he still delivered it today. So I need you to go over to all the links that are down in these descriptions, show notes. Go show him some love. Go take that first step today on forget being 1% better. After everything I've heard today, I at least feel like I'm 15, 20% better than I was. We've been doing this, what, an hour? So I know that you guys are feeling the same way. Go show some love. Go take that audit because honestly, my bachelorettes, this really was for you. I saw this and I thought exactly about you because I'm trying to marry the woman I want my daughter to be, and I'm becoming the man that I still want to be. Okay. So hopefully, everybody listening today, you can get in that same lane. Alex, thank you so much for making time for us today. Also, make sure y'all go lock that book in. Go fill up that bookshelf. You know, that's what we've been doing this past year is filling up our bookshelf. And then I will see all you amazing bachelors, bachelorettes next week for an all new episode of the Not So Bad Bachelor Pad. Peace out, guys.